What's happening, YouTube? I actually got some sleep. It's almost 5 o'clock in the morning. I did get up, though, and then back to bed. Broken sleep is pretty much the norm these days, but at least I'm getting rest. Sorry. I'd like to speak on forgiveness. Something I'm never been too good at. Been pretty good at holding a grudge over the years. But I also learned how holding that grudge holds you back, right? It fills your head with a bunch of crap that doesn't need to be up there, and you tend to stay angry. You tend to stay in that angry state more when you got all these individuals you have vengeance for, right? And I had a handful, that's for sure. And the thing is, if you don't know how to forgive somebody, how are you going to expect anybody to forgive you? There you go, right? Can't be two-faced. Don't work that way. You know, the universe tells you, you want somebody to forgive you, you got to forgive other people, right? You got to set an example, pay it forward, etc., etc. It's not easy, though, you know? I get it. It's not. But I do know how much it fucked with me. Hanging on to anger, hanging on to grudges. There's only one person on this planet that if something bad happened to them, it would make me feel good. I know that sounds terrible, but just one. And one day I hope to get over that too. That's a big one because I just think this person's bad people, right? Right to the core. There's nothing worth saving. They could take him out back and, you know, do what they need to do. And I'd cheer him on. I would. I wouldn't need to participate. I would just like to watch. Anyway, being able to forgive somebody for what they did to someone else or what they did in life that had nothing to do with you sometimes isn't so hard. But when they did it to you directly, sometimes it's not so easy, right? I understand the difference. I do. I really do. And then it depends on what they did to you and why and what their motives were, right? I mean, if somebody's got bad intention for you, well, why the fuck would you want to forgive them, right? If that bad intention still exists, it's kind of hard. But technically speaking, you're supposed to, right? If you really want to be a better person, be the bigger person, and all that kind of shit, you're supposed to forgive everybody for everything, right? It's just not so easy to do. And much easier to say, that's for sure. But think about how many times in life you fucked up. You just blew it, right? And you're like, man, if I only had one more chance, or if you would just forgive me, you'd see that I've changed, etc., etc. It's like situation with my daughter and my brother, same thing, right? I'd like them to forgive my bad behavior, but, you know, nothing I can do about that. Other than show that I've changed. I'm not that same person, and that's what I've been doing. But I haven't been doing it for them, I've been doing it for me, to be a better person, because if I never get to speak to them again, I hope to find other people that I can share my life with in the future, right? I don't want to be alone. There was a time where I did. I don't want any people in my life. And there are times where I don't now, to be honest. There is. I don't want no people in my life. I don't want to say no. I'm good with what I can fit on one hand, usually, is my comfort zone. And that's pretty bad. Be nice if I could double that. But I have a hard time trusting people. I have a hard time believing them. Believing what they say. Been lied to way too many fucking times in life. Half truths. Makes it real hard for me to trust people and believe them. And then you want me to forgive them? Good luck, right? No, believe me, I understand all these things quite well. Very well. I don't know what all the answers are. I just know when I can forgive somebody, I feel better. And when I'm hating on somebody, I don't feel so good. I mean, for me, it's got to be simple shit. I try not to complicate things any worse than they already are. And when I'm trying to solve a problem, I try to break it down to its basics, you know. A plus B equals C, just like the tattoo says, right? Show me what I did wrong. Let me correct it and say sorry, and let's move on. But if you're going to keep beating me up, then it's not going to work. And the same thing the other way around, right? If you say you forgive somebody, but yet you're going to keep throwing it in their face, well, that's not forgiveness, right? Forgive and forget. Move on. I take that back. Forgive and forgive, but you shouldn't forget anything. Shouldn't. That's how you learn shit, right? Wisdom comes from mistakes. It comes from other people's mistakes. It comes from your mistakes. It comes from education. It comes from seeking knowledge, right? All these things to get wisdom. You're better off not forgetting the people that wronged you. Forgive them, but I wouldn't forget. You know, whether that's technically right or wrong according to whoever, whatever, I don't know. But I find it valuable to remember the wrongs that people did upon you so that someone else doesn't pull the same shit, right? Because you'll see it coming first. Because so-and-so already did it to you and you're like, I remember what homie did and this motherfucker's doing the same goddamn thing. So don't forget. But you need to forgive because then you'll be free of that fucking hatred, right? I don't want to be hating on nothing. I already did all that. I did enough hating for 2 lifetimes, believe me. Anyway, forgiveness. It's funny how forgiveness is tied to a lot of other things, you know? It's tied to a lot of negativity, right? If you're able to release the wrongs that were done upon you or done upon your country or whatever your problem is with somebody or something, right? Maybe you need to forgive your government. I mean, who knows what, right? Whatever the fuck's got you twisted, you got to find a way to untwist that shit. You know? I've lived with my guts tied up in knots for a long time. And it's made me quite an angry person. And I'm still unraveling all of that, right? But forgiveness is a piece of that puzzle. And it's a constant, you know, just because I say I forgive you doesn't mean I forgive you, right? Those feelings and emotions don't just click, turn off with the light switch, right? I get that. It's work in progress. It's constantly work in progress. I know I'm sounding a little preachy this morning, but this is one of those lessons learned the hard way for the kid. And if I can pass it on and it saves you some grief in one way or another, whether you're the one that needs to be forgiven, then maybe you need to show some penance. Say you're fucking sorry, right? In order to get that forgiveness, you got to deserve it. At least you should, right? You should try to right it. If you get forgiven for doing something wrong, And you're like, oh, fuck, that was easy. I didn't even get in trouble. They already forgave me. I could do it again, right? Uh-uh. You need a twist in the wind for a while before you get forgiven, for sure. That's how you gotta fucking learn, right? Balancing act. Forgiveness works both ways, right? It works for the person giving it, and it works for the person getting it, and vice versa. Think about it the next time you're hating on somebody. Might make a difference in your life. Just saying. All right. Enough preachy preachy. Do what you gotta do, and I will see you soon. Peace.